the Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education with a physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Function with Purpose podcast. Dr. Amy here. I'm going to get right to it. Number 8, favorite number. All right. I said it before in Season 1, something with the number 8. 8 means infinity if you turn it horizontally. Okay. Anywho, today's topic. Should I see a physical therapist for checkups, even if I'm feeling pretty good and doing pretty great? Of course I'm going to be biased because this is how I have Fortress PT set up. So why not continue to seek out therapy services, right? Because we can't fully avoid the common experience of pain. And I think even my personal journey, I still get pain here and there. In fact, just earlier this week, I had left low back pain going into my butt, which was then going into my knee, and I was having difficulty falling asleep. So that was a trigger to me to say, oh no, Amy has to be a little bit more specific with her physical therapy exercises each day. And I know what I respond to. So coming in for physical therapy checkups, even if I'm feeling pretty good, is to constantly build resilience and capacity in order to endure life pursuits, because there are curveballs constantly being thrown at our bodies all the time, 24/7, 365. Not only physical curveballs, whether you're trying to lift something heavy or maybe you're bending over to pick up a pencil from the floor and you're like, oh, there goes my back a little bit, right? We can't fully avoid the common experience of pain. But the goal is to experience it less often and learn how to manage and recognize pain before it fully takes over. Now, yes, when someone is in an episode of pain, usually that's when people come in to see me for physical therapy. Once they get out of pain, they think they're all cool and good, right? I was in that boat even before PT school. I didn't know this stuff. And in fact, even going through physical therapy school and starting my first year of my first job, that's what I thought. All right, just get people out of pain and then they're discharged. No. Because Pain tells us something. Just because you get out of pain and you're feeling good and you're feeling pretty great doesn't mean we solidified a stronger foundation. We just kind of bridged a little bit or super glued some of that crack in your foundation. Well, super glue tends to come apart after a little while, right? So the goal is to constantly revisit foundational human movement. So that, for example, I'll talk about my left leg pain. It's been bothering me some. My shoulders have been pretty good lately. My left leg pain started earlier this week. And then I told myself, okay, I got to start doing some of these press-up things that I respond really well to. And I know that after training for 2 years of tempo work and incorporating some kind of awkward movements into my training game, that I'm able to get into fuller ranges of motions into my hip, developing more end range strength in order to attain that resiliency around my hip joint and even my lower back to help improve that capacity of the tissue that's surrounding that joint. So the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the bones, which then enhances my nerve movement connection to my left hip. So throughout this process, especially I can vouch for my training that I'm not promoted by them, but I get my own training through Revival Strength. They are a San Francisco based gym. So I get my remote training from them, and I've learned a lot of concepts through them that it's very important to continue these little physical therapy checkups on myself and these little physical therapy non-sexy exercises that help continue to make my foundation stronger and not have as many cracks. And therefore, I don't really experience a lot of pain frequently into my left leg and hip and low back as I would if I would not have continued to do my own self checkups and even outsource my own physical therapy checkups, even when I'm feeling great. So I've learned to appreciate that being able to manage and recognize when and if this pain kind of sets into my left leg, that I know that, okay, Amy needs to pay attention to more towards her back exercises, getting back to the basics and just revisiting them here and there and honing in on quality of movement and getting into fuller ranges of motion into my hip. Therefore, I'm not in this snowballing of pain that just kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger and becomes a huge fire, and then my hip and leg is just pissed and upset, and I'm having difficulty going to bed, falling asleep, can't sleep on my left side, etc. So yes, I think seeing your physical therapist for checkups, whether it's once a month, once every other week, once every 6, maybe every other month, is super important, because that's what physical therapists do. We are experts. I don't want to say experts because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning, but we study human movement, and a lot of times pain can be associated with human movement. So you come into your physical therapist and we take you through some basic 7 to 9 fundamental movements of human movement and notice that there might be a little crack in your foundation. Well, guess what? We can help bridge that crack to become more solidified within the foundation of your movement, so that you experience pain less often. And then you're able to manage and recognize it before, when something feels wonky or off, that you can be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I saw Amy when I was here at my appointment last. She really told me that I need to focus on good quality movement, taking the barbell out of the picture and maybe just doing some body weight movement, working on that non-sexy stuff, right? In order to build that resiliency and continue to increase my capacity of that tissue that's surrounding that joint. And for my example, the hip, the low back, the knee. And then having someone from the outside to double check me, to make sure things are moving right, looking good, feeling smooth. Do we need to change things up? So I can just continue to train and do life. So, yeah, I 100% believe that you should continue to see a physical therapist for, monthly checkups, even if you're feeling pretty good, because as a physical therapist, we can always kind of a little bit find something that's off or wrong, per se. So find that physical therapist. Find that physical therapist that you can trust and build a relationship with, not only just for therapy, but even outside. I've developed very close relationships with some of my patients who text me daily on updates on simple things. I was able to quilt a full quilt today without low back pain. Oh my God, that's huge. I haven't been able to do that since 2 years ago without back pain, but the things that we were doing and that you taught me, and doing basic core movements, focusing on good quality of movement, has helped me. So if you're on the fence about checkups, then that's okay. But I think you need to start solidifying a strong home team for yourself. So think of this as getting your oil changed every so often, right? We got to make sure things are functioning optimally for you, for your specific life pursuits. So if you're in the South Charlotte area, I would definitely love to help you guys out. My office is located within CrossFit Pineville, Fortress Physical Therapy. If I cannot help you, I can certainly try to help you find your physical therapist. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.